Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I built this resin kit in N-Scale for tank trucks. If you want to see how it's done, watch this video coming right up. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is BNSF 6951. I am Vinny and I will be your host. If you guys are interested in tips, tricks, and techniques on model railroading, then please hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Also, give me a thumbs up. That'll help my analytics with YouTube. With all that being said, let's get on with this video. See you in a bit. Alright guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Vid production. This is going to be a continuation on my ethanol complex, and this is going to be the truck loading platform. As you can see, I have a bunch of parts laid out right there, and I'm going to pick this one little part up right here and show you guys that this is one of the hoses that I have to attach to these guys here. Anyhow, what we have here is the pressure tanks, and a mistake from one of my other builds yielded me a product here. I made a mistake when I was doing one of my other builds with the stairs. I made them too short, but it actually works best with this one. So, we have the distribution pipes right here. Oops, sorry about that. And then we have the stanchion. So what I'm going to do now, I already painted the blue. It kind of matches what's already out there. The reason why I'm doing this is because I am very, very anxious to get all the piping done in this complex. Because I think it's going to be nice to see all of that kind of detail. And for the second reason is when you walk into my layout and you walk down the aisle, this is the first industry you see, is my ethanol plant. So I want to make it as detailed as I possibly can. So the next thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to build this in a way that that I could take it off the layout in sections, and I'll show you what I'm talking about as I build this. So like I said, I have to put those little hoses onto these guys. Well, I want to secure these guys to here and be able to pick this whole thing up off the layout and work on it when I want to. So, as you can see, I already started painting. I used the light aircraft gray for the foundation, which I always think is a great color for concrete. I marked off the spots where these guys need to go, like that. And we'll start doing this. It's not gonna. The only thing that's going to take really a long time is putting those little hoses on here. This was a little bit difficult, only because you need to support it somehow. And John actually has made the walkway just a little bit wider than the stanchion itself, so he could push it in there and it'll hold and keep it while it's glued. I kind of sanded down the side and got it down as far as I could, and it was just a process for me to get that to work. So, like I said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint the deck in here. And also, I finally got these guys. Oops. These are handrails, as you can see right there, that I needed to finish off the other tanker loading platform. And this one is going to need handrails also. So, with all that being said, let me get ready to start putting this stuff together and painting that guy, and we'll see how it goes from there. Be back in a little bit. Alright guys, sometimes when I build a kit, I always get ahead of myself. I should have painted the deck black before I put the stanchions on there, but that's no big deal. I could paint it by brush, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So, I want to get this part painted complete so I can mount these, and these will get mounted underneath there, and I'll show you here all of this in a little bit. So I'm using the cap for my paint, and this is apple barrel, by the way. and get in there nice and without messing up on the blue. Alright, we did that good. And these got, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I don't know if you can see. Like little planks in there. Oh, yeah, you can see it right there. Anyhow, let me continue on here. Alright guys, as you can see, I got it painted. I wasn't too particular on the sides here because eventually I'm going to probably scrape some of that off so I could put the handrails there. But anyhow, we're going to let that dry up and we'll be back and we'll start putting some of this stuff together. So stay tuned and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, as you can see I have the distribution pipes, I guess is what you would call them, mounted on here, and they are on the bottom of the walkway. And I did use this super glue. That stuff is really, really thick. I can't believe it takes so long to come out of the tube. So I finally just opened it up and squished it out on a piece of plastic, as you can see. Oops, it might have got glued down. Oops, I just got it on my finger too. Ooh. All right. Anyhow, while I was waiting for this to dry, I went ahead and took my concrete pad and did a little work to it. As you can see, I put some put the yellow striping on there, and I also put a little bit of dirt going down the center of each side as the semis would try to leave that kind of a dirt on the concrete. Anyhow, I'm going to wait for this to dry up, and then we're going to mount these barrels. The reason why I'm waiting for the barrels is because I want to flip this over and put it in its place and just line up the barrels with each one of the pipes. Anyhow, stay tuned and we will be back in a few minutes. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Alright guys and gals, as you can see I got my pipes on there. Nice and secure, and I did use that Gorilla Glue, but I'm not going to use it. It's way too thick and it smells too much, and nah. But anyhow, I also added my handrails, as you can see. Now, in one of my previous builds that John Tanzullo did for me, which was the tanker loading platform, he gave me a lot of these extra, oops, let me pick this up with my fingers here. He gave me a lot of these they are the drop bridges that go from the platform to the either the tank car or the tank truck. I did cut off the tops in so they look a little bit more prototypical as to what's supposed to be here. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put those on, and then while I'm waiting for those to set up with the glue so I can handle it, I'm going to go ahead and install my pressure tanks. And all these little guys right here are hoses that go from here to the truck that it is filling up. And these guys are tiny. See that? Better if you want it. Anyhow, it's got to get glued on the opposite of the snake right there, and it's got to get glued to the little white pipes here. So John suggested, because he didn't think that the glue point was sufficient enough, to add a support. Of course, it'll be under the roof, so you can attach the hose from the pipe to the support, and hopefully it would work a lot better. So I'm going to do that. As you can see, I already have it painted to match the color here. So with all that being said, I'm going to start with these guys, and I am using this Bob Smith Industries glue. I like this glue. It's not really a thick gel, but it's thick enough to work with. So that being said, let me get ready here, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys and gals, I have my hoses drying up and being painted. I'm painting them flat black. I'm going to start putting these pressure tanks where they belong. I did check to see, you can see those little, let me get this up here. When I painted this, I did mark off where the tanks were going to go, and I left little white spots so the glue would adhere. Seems that this glue doesn't like to adhere to paint, so and that's just my opinion on that. So I'm going to dip it in the glue over here, and I'm going to put a little drop there, and a drop there, and a drop there. And also I'm going to put it on the bottom. On there, and I just need to make sure that they are centered. Okay. And we'll do the same thing for the next one. So as you can see, I can take this apart in units just to work on them. Like I know I'm going to have to do some piping on here, so I'm going to be able to just work on this piece, taking that piece off and putting it on the side. Now I did sand the bottom of these down so the glue would adhere to the actual resin or whatever it is that John uses for these kits. This one has to go a little further in, and this one has to go a little further out. Now I'll put this on this just to make sure that everything lines up. And we are looking good. Alright. Alright, do the next three, and I'll bring you back when those three are on there, and I'm going to figure out how to mount these stairs. I don't know if I should leave it on here or if I should leave it on that. So, with that being said, we'll be right back. Alright guys, in this part of the video I'm going to show you how I am going to be securing the supports for the hoses that we're going to install here in a few minutes. I decided to use a rod rather than the square tubing that I was using. And as you can see, I'm putting the rod in, and I will explain to you the distances that we accomplished putting these rods in place. I decided to use a rod because it'll make sense, as you will see in the next part of this video. So with all that being said, let's move on to the next part of this video. We'll be back in a few. Alright guys and gals, as I stated earlier in this video, that John suggested that I put a support across here so I can hang these hoses and give them a little bit more gluing area. So, John, what I'm going to suggest to everybody is to use this number 210. Oops, this way. Let me get that better. Which is a 30 thousandths rod or 0.75 millimeter rod. I was going to use this one, which is the next size up, bigger, and it just didn't fit the radius of the pipe bend that's already there. So, this is how it's going to look. You can see the hoses hanging there. I am, unfortunately, going to use this Gorilla Glue. Why? Because it's thick and it will hold these hoses in position as I put them up against the white pipes where they're supposed to be. So I'm not going to do that on camera because I'm sure there are going to be a few choice words that's going to come out of my mouth. I will show you how they look when they get done. But we had figured out that this support should be 7 millimeters from the main support of the stanchion, or 8 millimeters from the end to here. This is a 15 millimeter piece right here. Sorry, I keep getting off the camera here. So I'm going to go ahead and by the way, if the reason I'm actually going to do these one at a time, because if you accidentally hit the rod, it acts like a spring and these things jump off. Two of them already went on vacation, so I don't know where they're at. Luckily John has given me some extras, so I will find them eventually. I know where they took a vacation at. So, all that being said, let me start this not so easy project. And we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, unfortunately I wasn't happy with the audio from this clip, so I decided to do a voiceover. What I'm going to show you here is how I establish getting the right angles on those hoses. So I'm using a round piece of styrene. It's a rod that's 0.75 in diameter, and it fits the diameter of the hoses that are in there. So now what I did was I took my whole unit and I placed it on the 1, 2, 3 blocks to get in a certain angle, because gravity, believe it or not, was helping me out doing this part of the project. So when I leaned it over, because it was on a round piece of stock, it kind of swiveled. So I was fortunate enough to get it right in place. So the next process here is I'm going to be using this super glue. Even though I said I didn't like it, it seems to help a lot because it actually holds the pieces in place as I'm working on it. So let's see how I'm going to do this. Well, I don't know what I was doing right there. I guess I was opening the jar up, the bottle of the glue up. So I'm going to take it off the top of that bottle of glue, only because it's so thick it doesn't come out any other way. And I'm just going to push that hose a little bit aside. And we're going to put a little bit on the white piece and a little bit on the rod. And then we're going to just push that pipe over. And hopefully it'll adhere in the position that I want it. Now I'll tell you, it was fairly easy as long as you had the angle, as long as you had the thing tilted right. Basically they fall right into place when you have the proper angle. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyhow, I'm going to let this go for now, and I'll show you the rest of it when we get done. So stay tuned, and we'll just carry on with this project. It's okay if it falls down. I mean, the glue is pretty much holding it in place right now. That's the only reason why I like this Gorilla Glue. Like I said earlier, it really stinks. I don't like the smell of it at all. So that's 2 of them done. Now we'll get the 3rd one done. And then I will do the rest off camera, and I'll bring you back when they are all on there. So let's say stay tuned for now, and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, again was not happy with the audio on the clip, the original clip of this, so I decided to do another voiceover. Anyhow, this is an overhead shot using that webcam. I don't know if I'll keep using it or not. But you can see all the hoses are in place right there. Looks pretty good. I actually attached the stairs to the walkway. So when I lift the walkway up, the stairs will come with it. I do need to have a little bit of support on that. And this is another view, different camera. This is one of my video cameras, and I think the picture is a lot better. But anyhow, that's the side view. That's how it's going to look. I don't have the roof on there. I might not put the roof on there just so you can see all the detail with the hoses and stuff. Just a little bit of weathering, and if I want to put the roof on, that's what it'll look like with the roof. Anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this part of the video. I do have a bonus clip coming up for you guys, so stay tuned, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, we've been walking into my layout like this, and now the first thing you'll see when you get to this part of the layout is my ethanol plant. So I'm trying to get as much detail on this area as I possibly can. This guy is still not hooked up yet. I gotta build some sort of a foundation for it. But here's the truck loading right here, and this will all be gravel in here. So the trucks will come in this way, they will come into the stanchion right there, get filled up, and then pull out this way. So that's looking pretty good as far as I'm concerned, but I like to get some more piping done. So that's why I'm concentrating in this area. Like I said, when you walk into this room, this is what you're going to see. So I want to have a lot of piping going all over the well, not all over, but you know, from one place to another, and then into here, into there, out to here, and so on. Anyhow, with all that being said, I do have a bonus feature for you guys, so hang on and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, this is just a little bonus feature. I want to show you what the downtown Phoenix area is going to look like. Those two buildings, those two sections there have lights on the LEDs. They were a little bit spendy, but I think they look pretty good. And then there'll be a street right about there, and then we'll come down here. And as you can see, I filled it in quite a bit. I think there's 9 buildings there. Anyhow, and then of course we're going to have the I-17 right there. So, that's all looking pretty good to me. Get a long shot. Look at that. That really fills that backboard up really nice. Alright, that's it for now. Talk to you later. Bye.